Welcome back to Derry Public Radio. Reporting from the basement of the Derry Civic Center, this is CM Alexander with the news. In education news, the University of Maine has introduced a new elective titled Kubrick Codes and You. The course will explore themes like spatial impossibility, do minotaurs ski, and misdirection and misdirections. Final grades will be based on how well students argue that The Shining is a metaphor for literally anything. You're listening to Derry Public Radio. This is Derry Public Radio.
That's great.
We have a show to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to be done with this.
You all right, Sam? Feeling okay?
No. I had a dark realization.
Yeah.
Watching this today made me realize that I have lost some measure of innocence and like hopefulness in my life, where I could believe in things that
I love this energy.
are nuts and so not true, probably.
I love this energy. Are we in it?
Welcome back to Derry Public Radio, a bi-weekly Stephen King book club podcast. You've just heard CM go through it.
Because of Eve. I could have cut that out.
Are we in it?
Yeah,
okay.
We are now.
I'm one of your hosts, Joshua Kahn, alongside CM Alexander.
I guess.
And Eve Gatto.
2 in a row, constant readers.
And today, I stole the intro again.
You did. I didn't think you were going to do that.
It was too good a moment not to jump in.
I won't do this again, CM. I'm so sorry.
We, for a reason I cannot remember now,
It's my
decided to
fault.
watch Room 237.
I said it was great. It's my fault. Because, Josh, I think you said you had a different opinion. I don't want to spoil anything. And I was like, really? It's great. It's great. Everything's fine.
Yeah. And I'm leading the discussion. So, first thing I have to say to all of you, am I the only one who felt like a hypocrite watching this entire show? We made fun of these guys pretty brutally for doing exactly what we do every other week.
I had a note with a star, and it's one of my 3 notes, because I was like, what am I supposed to take notes about? If we're constant readers, the people in this documentary are constant watchers.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear about something, though. We don't take ourselves too seriously, and we share our insights as our opinions and not hard-cold facts.
Not once have I claimed to be a journalist about what we're talking about.
Yeah. Very passionate people.
Yes, it is.
Should we describe what the documentary is?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, Room 237 is a documentary that is all narration over film footage, a few very strange recreations, slow zoom on a can of Calumet, stuff like that. But it is a number of people
Who we never see. on
who we
camera.
never see. We see their names.
So they could have edited their dialogue. Okay.
Could have.
I will not be referring to any of these people by name because I don't know about y'all. I could not keep several of them
No.
straight.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
But they are all discussing their history with the movie The Shining and what they believe is the real meaning behind the movie. Because, as we all know, Stanley Kubrick was an infallible genius.
200 IQ, they say.
200
These
IQ
folks say.
with absolutely infinite amount of planning time,
Oh, yeah.
money, control over every aspect of a production, which is how movies are made.
Yep.
And a dark, dark secret.
And and at least one dark, dark secret. It's
It's conspiracy theories.
It's conspiracy. Okay, so I said at the top, it's interesting. I love the energy you're starting out with, CM,
Oh, no.
because I went into this with the exact opposite energy. I remember I watched possibly this whole movie before. I don't remember a lot of it. I just remember being annoyed by it.
Fair.
Which is fair. So going into it this time, I was like, on the podcast, I can sometimes be the negative Nelly who is like quick to shoot down silly stuff. So I on the drive over to the studio today, I made the conscious decision, I am going to be as open-minded as possible and take all of these people's arguments as seriously as I can. And
how'd you do?
Mixed results.
Okay, I want to get into the first thing. Before we get into any of these theories, I talked a lot of shit, as I often do. If you join us at the Patreon tier and start watching movies with us, you'll hear me talk a lot of shit. Plug. Now, the first person they interview over footage of Tom Cruise staring at the Shining poster is this guy talking about how fucking horrified he was by The Shining. He's like, at one point he says, I needed one hand to grip my belt and one hand to grip the seat because I thought I was gonna fall or whatever.
Yeah, because he was so terrified.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster of a movie, Josh. Thrill a minute.
It's not scary, right? It's not a scary movie. Like, it's got spooky things.
It's tense.
But it's beautiful.
It's a
tense.
thriller.
Yes. It might be a little more scary.
I mean,
though,
it is
to
horror.
be fair if you saw it when it came out, because we've seen a lot of things since then. But.
And that's what I wonder, as I famously talked a lot of shit during Salem's Lot about it being, it's every vampire thing we've seen 1,000 times now. It wasn't then, but it is now. I am curious. Am I bringing that energy to this?
It's the same thing as The Exorcist before that. Where people were like, oh my God, there were people passing out in the theater and running out. And you watch it now and it's like, yeah, it's a good movie, but it looks pretty silly. It happened again in the 90s.
Blair Witch?
Yes.
Yeah.
I almost said Salem's Lot.
Well,
Also.
the Blair Witch is a great example because I think that's a valid question, Josh. And were it not for the fact that this guy continued to talk, I would have thought, wow, maybe he was just one of those individuals who... like, that was the most unique thing he had seen up to that point. And I think he was the same guy who I feel like really connected to these people in a strange way, who had a similar thought that I did reading Rose Madder, my first King book, when it makes that shift. And I'm like, books can do this. It was the first, I felt like, interesting book that I had read. And this was the first movie that he realized, movies can do more interesting things than I've seen. And I thought that was really cool to hear other people having that experience.
I agree. And that, honestly, my favorite part of the entire movie is near the end, where possibly the same guy is talking about how The Shining takes all of these symbols and things that represent other things to make you think about those things. And you're like, yeah, that's a movie.
That's filmmaking.
That's what filmmaking is. Yeah, you're saying The Shining is a good movie in like a billion extra steps, friend.
Well, and it's what I love about that. It drives me nuts again that they're saying things as fact and often wrong about the things they say in a very adorable, like sincerely sweet way. But each person. There's 9 chapters to this thing. And so each time you're kind of getting a different theory. And each person is presenting it as this aha moment that's like, I can't believe that I am the person who gets to bring this to the world's attention, that this isn't something, it is just so blatantly obvious. This is what Kubrick was saying.
Multiple people throughout the movie say, I looked it up and I thought it was crazy. No one had written about this before.
Yeah.
No one had this insane thought besides me.
And sometimes I wonder, is that what it's like to talk to us?
Almost certainly.
About the Dark Tower specifically, yes.
Oh, for sure. But also, we're not like...
We're a little more unbiased. We're clear that these things are our opinions. We speculate about things, and I love making connections to the different historical moments that they go on to make connections to. And a lot of their arguments are a stretch, but they're seeing patterns that make sense to them. And I think everyone's meaning that they get out of any art is valid, but you can't say that was the intention of the filmmaker because they also had a vision.
Yeah, no,
Your vision does not trump theirs.
I definitely want to point out that, like, this very easily could slip into anti-intellectualism, where they're like, oh, these thoughts are silly. What are they doing? It's not that deep, bro, you know, that stuff. That's not what we're meaning.
No,
Which is because the movie has tons of layers. It has tons of messages. Yeah. There are so many
Kubrick
true things.
Is a very careful filmmaker. Like they're drawing on facts to support their argument.
I'm going to tackle these a little bit out of order because the conversation feels like this is the first one we should tackle.
Okay.
Because this was probably the biggest aha that destroyed me. This movie blew my mind 1,000 ways from Sunday. Think in a whole new way, like I've never thought before. Watching the movie forwards and backwards at the same time, go.
Okay, I hope this isn't a trick because hell yeah.
I want to watch it so bad.
This is the true gift that this documentary gives us, I think, which is it really illustrates the unique style of Kubrick as a filmmaker in any of his films, because not only does it look very interesting because they show several minutes of this footage of them both playing at the same time.
Overlaid on top of each other.
Overlaid. And one of them is, much more sort of diffuse. And so you can see these coincidences and you can draw meaning from them, which is really fun to do. It looks really visually interesting somehow.
It is compelling.
Yes.
And throughout the film, Eve, you mentioned that it's different clips from Kubrick movies. People talking over just random clips, scenes of his films, not even making like a cohesive visual story, also work. Yep. It's so visually like appealing and intriguing.
And the thing that blows my mind is that is the evidence to why it all matches so well. If you can take everything one filmmaker's ever shot and edit scenes that look like, this could be one weird movie I haven't seen, which is exactly what happens. It's because he frames the shots the way he does.
He has style. That's his style.
He does.
It is very funny that the guy who brings this idea forward is like, it's crazy that, like, at the very beginning of the movie, layered on top of the end of the movie, Stanley Kubrick's name scrolls up the movie and it lines up with the picture of Jack hanging on the wall. Because they're both in the center of the screen, and that's bound to happen at some point. They're not synced up with anything.
It still looks really cool, though.
It still looks very cool. No, I love this too, because I love the idea of like alternate ways of watching movies or things like that in ways that aren't maybe the intended way. It just adds something. If you're ever hanging out with a bunch of friends, just chatting, put on like cartoons in French. Just have it on in the background. It's not enough to draw, unless you speak French, I guess. It's something there. And then, like, obviously, Dark Side of the Moon. Have either of you done
Wizard
it?
of Oz, Dark Side of the Moon,
Which is very fun. The McElroy brothers syncing Dark Side of the Moon and Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Holy fuck.
Which is very, very good. Anyway, it's just a cool idea. And I think we should do this with all movies.
All right. The best part of that whole segment is that it starts with the guy being, I heard from somebody that it's meant to be watched forward and backwards. Not at the same time. That's nuts. And then later he's like, but what if?
And we all laughed when he said, but not at the same time, because we're like, obviously. And then he's like, so I showed it at the same time. It's okay. Hold on,
guy.
Though.
We just need to talk about that particular guy.
Is that the same guy who saw Kubrick's?
Yes.
Oh, okay, guys. At one point, sorry, I'm talking to the listeners now.
There's so much first take energy.
This is like the most fascinating guy in the movie, in my opinion.
There are two things that really have made me feel something, and I think they're both this guy. The one is him saying that you can see Stanley Kubrick's face in the clouds.
Oh my God.
I looked so hard.
No, that was a different guy. That was the one of the Native American
well, we'll come back to that if necessary.
Theorists.
So this guy is first, before this happens, he opens with describing how Danny was abused physically.
Oh, fuck.
Also, there's
implications
that it was sexual too, and we're like, no,
it's
sir.
fucking where?
It is
but
because
he doesn't say.
No.
It is because he is reading The Playgirl. And on the cover of The Playgirl is an article that says something about incest. That's the whole thing. Which is my biggest problem with this movie, is these people acting as though, like, Stanley Kubrick is an all-seeing God. So many of the things presented as evidence are like, and then this happened. Could it be continuity? No. And it's like, maybe, but also...
Also, each of their theories are things that they were already tied to things they were already deeply interested in and knew a lot about. So
that's a great point.
Yeah, they found what they were looking for. Exactly. They saw what they wanted to see.
Yeah, the first time I noticed that is the guy who is presenting this theory that he's like the first guy we meet.
Mm-hmm.
And he's presenting the theory that the entire movie, The Shining, is about the genocide of the Native Americans in the United States, and presents, I think, a lot of really interesting ideas.
For sure.
Yeah.
And there's, a ton of imagery. And is this a theme of the movie? Well, like the guy at the end says, it's there. Just because it wasn't intended doesn't mean that the meaning isn't in the movie.
If you find meaning in it, that's cool. Just again, make
Exactly.
sure you state that it's your take on it.
Exactly. And then that guy is talking about it, and he's like, I figured it out because of the Calumet cans, which stands for peace pipe. And then later in an unconnected thought, he's like, yeah, I grew up in Calumet County.
Yeah.
And it's like
about Calumet River and
worked with I forget what he did, but was a history guy or something. Yeah. And so of course he has these are all things that he's thinking about. So you project it onto The Shining because it's dreamlike.
Another guy was a journalist during the war, and so he connected it to the war.
Let's go into that first theory since we're here. The Shining is about the genocide of the Native Americans. There are a few points that are brought up. We talked about the Calumet. There's also the blood spilling out of the elevator as tied to the fact that Ullman says that this place was built on an Indian burial ground, which means the fact that it has a basement means it was dug into the bodies. So the elevator goes into the bodies.
I like the point where a guy suggests that the blood gets on the elevator in the basement. It's like, so that's where it comes from.
That's where it comes from. It gets on. And then he's like, you see the doors don't open, but the force of the blood does push the one completely almost open.
Happening.
Yeah, you watch it happen. It's great.
It's the clouds all over again.
It's
where you're
okay.
Yeah, I don't see it.
You're saying a thing that isn't true.
I'm going to say a fact because that's what this movie has given me the power to do, is take things I think and say they're facts. This movie was done entirely via Zoom calls that are the one half of the conversation, because some of the sentences are bananas. Some of the sentences are clearly a response. At one point, the filmmaker even has to put words, the question they asked the person on the screen, so that their sentence will make sense.
Oh, and the one guy had to walk away. He's like, can you hear my baby? Sorry.
Can you hear my kid?
You hear him get up. You hear his footsteps. You hear some kerfuffle with the kid. Not anything scary, but just
You hear the wife go, we're fine.
Yeah. And then he comes back, and it's like, you're not on camera.
And then
you
continues.
do not have to use the unedited
adds
audio
so
file.
much character.
What you were saying wasn't compelling. So
Well,
start
that's
new.
the thing. This is the guy I wanted to talk about because he's the most fascinating character in the movie. Because you can just hear in his voice, he is making shit up as he goes.
Yeah.
There's so many things he says, and then does this chuckle to be like, can you believe that shit?
It's his first time talking about these ideas out loud.
1,000%.
Yeah.
It is
He laughs a lot.
when we like. I laugh a lot. I get it. We're very
Yeah.
funny people in this room.
Huh.
All of his insane theories are pulled as though he's doing what we do, which is watched the movie, then came in to talk about it. Except for this guy, last time he watched The Shining was like a few months ago, and he's pretty sure he remembers how the scenes go.
Yeah.
Unlike the other person who earlier on, it seems like they might be watching the movie while they're talking
Yeah.
because he's just saying things that are on screen that are happening. And then that guy walks by with a chair. There he is.
They
There he
just
goes.
You keep
describe scenes.
You keep expecting them to drop some like, whoa, I had never noticed that. And then they're just like, and then they walk by. And why is he carrying a chair?
The guy walks up the stairs with the rug right as the
at the end
scene
of the
is
scene.
dissolving. It's
Crazy.
like crazy. But they never explain what
No.
that means.
We jumped away. Is there anything else? Do we all subscribe to this Native American genocide as the message of The Shining?
I mean, it's a theme.
It is.
This whole movie is like
It's Colorado. There's
people
going to
discovering themes existed.
Be... Yes.
The one of the interesting things, CM, you just mentioned that it being about the history of Colorado. There's a point in the story where they say that Kubrick sent like a team to learn as much about the area as possible.
Do you think that's true?
I think so.
Okay. I wasn't sure if anything they said was actually researched.
I'm sure he sent location scouts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm
by
so
that, I mean,
I
no, I guess it wasn't the studios.
okay.
'cause
I'm
it was
so
the
sorry. We
70s.
can't keep doing this. So they stay for 3 months, according to this guy.
Allegedly, yeah. But it's I think that lends itself to the passive representation of this story. I don't think it's a theme, but I think if you know that history and they talk about how contentious that relationship still is in Colorado and areas of Colorado.
It's going to be in there, and he's going to want to represent
Right.
what is there.
So-
Otherwise, why take that
Right.
research?
So yeah, so I think it doesn't need to be about genocide, but it can be about where we are. Like
Yeah.
it
That's literally what
deepens
it
the
is.
history,
That's
yeah.
literally what it is.
I think the idea of this Native American theme totally plausible, much more than that the Ullman's little secretary man is a representation of it.
Okay. I like the idea. It's strange that I did look up the actor is just a white guy from Chicago. I did check that out.
This is just one example of when they say this thing that you see happening, because we're showing you this very specific clip. They describe it, but they describe it incorrectly. I already talked about the cloud.
Yeah.
This one is where they pan over to a well-known Caucasian guy and
The guy
say,
that plays Ullman's assistant.
Yeah,
His
he's supposed to be the
face-
summer character.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
say his face is brown.
Jesus fucking
Yeah,
Christ.
he's not white, and then cut to the whitest man you've ever
It's not
seen.
brown.
Playing Pontius Pilate.
They just because you say something doesn't make it a fact.
No.
And they also will put the words, well, we all know that Kubrick, XYZ, like it's being given authority. And normally in a documentary, when somebody makes a statement like that, you automatically assume that is a factual statement,
Right.
not someone's opinion.
I think that's what I like.
And I can't tell the difference in some of these.
I think that's what I like about this movie is not about what it says about The Shining. It is the fact that all of this is presented straight on.
Yeah.
They are not like they are
It's
not
serious.
editorializing.
The music is serious.
They are allowing these people to present their thoughts, and you are free to
Yeah.
think about them whatever you like.
Yeah, it's not trying to.
Well, it
Well-
can't try to sway me because it doesn't give me any
I know.
evidence or
Yeah.
backup.
It's what I like. I love that, like, as you go, at first it is presented. We are met with the Native American representation where you're like, oh yeah, I can see that. There is actual I could see how that could be read into the film criticism. Then the World War II stuff, and you're like, a little bit more of a stretch, but
And the number 42.
Sure. Yeah, and you're like, okay.
And there are 42 cars in the parking lot, but
Except
there
not really.
were 43 because there's one that they didn't put a number over top of. So you
That's
numbered.
a snowmobile.
They numbered 42 cars in the
Yeah.
parking lot is what they meant to say.
But the way the movie builds, you are presented to these people, and it never says they're experts on anything.
That's true.
At all. It just gives their names, and you're like, yes, these people know what they're talking about. And it isn't until you get to the cloud that you're like, oh, wait a second. These people are...
I defended this to you guys for us watching it, and this was my first moment where I was like, I'm a little bit embarrassed, but maybe this was just some weird moment.
I'm glad. That shows a lot of awareness, Sam.
Yeah.
That brings me comfort, even though it's slightly insulting.
It wasn't meant to be
The
slight.
fact that he brings it up
I love you,
when
Sam.
talking about... The fact that he brings it up when talking about what complete control that Stanley Kubrick had over the production, and the example he uses is that he put his face in the clouds,
He
and
goes
he
through
did not.
it.
He did not.
But he slowly
does
they
frame.
show it frame by frame, and I just kept
Oh
waiting
no!
to see the face in the clouds. They don't even put a circle around it.
No, it's
Do you
just
think that
assumed.
they just did that to be kind?
I hope so.
I think they did it because it's hilarious.
There's
Yeah,
another
it's
documentary
very funny.
that does this that upset me like this, not quite as badly.
Mhm.
Never Sleep Again. It's the one about sleep paralysis,
Mm.
where I thought it was going to be about scientific research into the sleep disorder, sleep
Mhm.
paralysis, and people sharing their experiences and stuff. And it was really spooky, which was cool, but it was just people talking about what sleep paralysis is like, but not saying it in a scientific way, just sort of stating it like, my experience means that aliens were in my room.
Oh,
And I was like, this
Oh,
is
boy.
not what I thought. This is,
kind of sad, honestly.
it's a little
a little
awkward.
bit.
That's a whole genre, though. Have either of you seen the documentary? I believe it's called.
Hellier.
Oh no,
Because that's
I'm
a
not gonna
ghost one that
remember it.
everybody likes. That I think they're very nice, cool people from what I've heard. But I tried to watch it and nothing happened. But they're making a big deal out of all these things that didn't happen.
Sounds right.
Confessions of a Superman.
Oh, yeah. Confessions of a
I
Superhero.
haven't seen that.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one.
I love that documentary.
It is a fantastic documentary about
I own
4
it.
people that work as costumed heroes on like Hollywood Boulevard or wherever.
Yep.
In front
The Walk of
of
Fame.
Man's Chinese Theater. And it starts out of being like, haha, look at these wacky people. But as it goes on, you're like, these people's lives are making me sad.
The Batman guy.
Yeah.
Let's get into, before we get to the more sincere theories, let's get these whack job ones out of the way. Let's go with the Holocaust allegory.
That's a whack job one?
Oh, I mean, we have the number 42 to get to. We've got green
It's a stretch.
things.
It's a stretch.
That's also one.
Although I love that when you watch it forwards and backwards, at one point, Jack Nicholson's hairline forms a Hitler mustache on his own face.
And my
Which
comment
is
was
certainly
that
something.
Stanley Kubrick made Jack's hairline so that it would
Yeah.
perfectly make that mustache.
It's the only answer. All right, now the evidence. There's a few interesting pieces of evidence. For instance, the typewriter.
Yeah.
It is a German typewriter that they point out changes color, but never
That's
say
the
why
most
that's important.
interesting part about it that I wish they would have talked about. Like, was that intentional? Did something happen?
I mean, I would assume it's intentional.
I know, but why?
But why?
Yeah.
What does changing the color mean? The fact that there's a lot of eagle representation and that he uses that, Kubrick used that for state power.
Is this the point where a guy just says the sentence Kubrick was a Freudian and then
Yeah.
moves on without explaining
Yes.
himself at all?
Yeah.
Because they're talking about like lists. This is the other thing is the typing, because the fact that Jack is typing a play means Schindler's List, according to this person's research. And
I feel like there was more to the argument, but I also ate a lot of weed gummies before we started. So
I don't remember there being more of a connection at that specific spot, at least.
No.
Oh, Okay. Well,
So yeah, any other favorite spots that this is a reference to the genocide?
no, I wouldn't say I have any favorite Holocaust references.
God damn it! You just did Jack Torrance's hair.
Well,
All right, now we got some theories to get to, but before we get to those, I want to get to the actual layout because there are several references. There's one weird shot that talks about cutting out the middle of the exterior of the hotel and just the impossibleness of the overlook.
This is where I breathed a sigh of relief. This woman begins talking, and what she is presenting doesn't seem so much like a huge stretch of a theory.
Yeah.
Like delving into conspiracy theory stuff is like, when's Bigfoot going to come into play? Is kind of how I was starting to feel. No offense to these guys.
I just remembered who we're talking about. Continue, and I will.
So this
an
lady
interjection
made
in a
this
moment.
very awesome looking fun map of the hotel.
It's very cool.
Yeah, and so they're overlaying that or like side by side with Danny and other shots of the family like walking around. So she's explaining how can Ullman's office have a window looking outside, for example, because if you follow the track, you know what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. Well, as she's showing this, like these levels of this really cool map where everything's like, ooh, okay, yeah,
Okay.
that's so weird.
I'm so glad you didn't
hear her
forget.
saying, oh, and I didn't have any like blueprints or anything. I didn't have, I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't do any research. I just watched the movie and made this map.
Yep.
Okay, you didn't mention
But
it.
I thought that was a really cool idea.
It is. It is.
The idea that this is a liminal space, so it throws you off subconsciously.
that.
Because there's evidence for it.
Yeah, it is hysterical to me, though, that you say this woman was the breath of fresh air
Well,
for sanity.
For a second.
Because she is the same woman who points out the Minotaur poster.
Okay, she did that after
We have
the
cannot
layout.
talk about it yet.
She did that
Oh my
after
god.
the layout.
I
so
only want to talk
I
about the
deserve a
Minotaur
pass.
poster.
Yes. Sam, will you, for anybody who doesn't want to go back and watch it right now, can you explain what the impossible window is, how that works?
What is behind Ullman's office as we see Jack moving through this part of the hotel going into the office? We can clearly see like it's another space. It's a hallway. It's an impossible window because there is no outside in that spot. It would be a window into the rest of the hotel because
It's so cool.
it's positioned kind of in the middle.
Follow-up question. We're gonna jump to something else because something I didn't realize that this documentary told me I felt over and over was sexy.
Oh, I didn't get that so hard that I forgot that was part of this.
Over and over and over and over, you're told about how sexy this movie makes you feel subliminally,
Well, because I think
which worries me.
It does
and they
have a sex
showed-
room.
Well, no, that's the moon room, which we will get to.
Right.
It does show a ad with a cocktail glass
Yeah.
with ice cubes, and the word "sex" is written in the ice cubes.
Just like it is in the stars in Lion King.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the pattern in the carpet is like
Perpetual.
reproduction
Yeah.
because
Oh,
of the
that part.
hexagons. There's like a sentence in there that's just like, and then
It's
because it's
perpetual
hexagons, and that's it.
That part is,
is great.
the most. I have had that exact conversation at so many house parties with a dude stoned in the corner, slumped over. Yeah, the peacock carpet. That's obviously like dicks and butts, and they're going into each other forever. But then you go outside, and it's the hexagons of progress, man. It represents society.
Remembering our history and not repeating it. But he doesn't even explain it like that. He's just like, but then it's the hexagons.
It is the most. You want me to be in a movie? What's it about? I have been in improv scenes with Josh that go pretty similarly.
That's true. All right, now we're gonna get into the real shit. There are 3 more theories I really want to get into. One of them is my own.
Okay.
So, first,
This is crazy because I also have a theory.
Holy fuck. All right, now one of my favorites. The fact, proof positive, Kubrick faked the moon landing.
Okay, this blew my mind. I somehow...
It comes so late in the movie.
This should have been what
They
the
fucking-
whole documentary
They
was
fucking
about.
bury the lead.
Yeah, all of a sudden after... Oh, and each of these theories, by the way, are not presented as a whole. They like return to them again and again, like kind of mixed up throughout in a way that I couldn't really follow.
Yeah,
None
of
the
it
information
ever really
seem like it wasn't fluid.
Yeah, it never really feels comprehensive or like nothing is connected to each other because of course they're not connected to each other. They're 6 conspiracy theories that have nothing to do with each other.
Like having the best time talking about the meaning they made of a movie they love.
It is like arguing which fanfic is more canon than the others.
Oh, yeah.
It is a waste of time. You are misunderstanding the point of watching a movie.
Yes. The evidence that is laid out about Kubrick faking the moon landing is immense. First of all, did you know room 237? It is 237,000 miles to the moon.
Yeah, was that true?
It is actually 238,500
That's
something.
pretty close.
It is close, but if
We
you round
have
up,
lasers
it's too
now.
far.
Oh, that was part of it.
That was part of it.
Yeah.
That's right.
We have lasers.
Maybe that's
What was it that
pre-laser
you
data.
It was that much, but now
it's lasers.
now it's the same, but with lasers.
Worded so wonderful. Kubrick used The Shining to finally scream out loud to the world, I did it. And the way he chose to do it is by putting Danny in an Apollo 11 sweater.
And also designating the name of room 237 as Moon Room. Can you, somebody?
Yeah.
Because I'm
I
going to be
got
too
this.
upset while I do it.
Absolutely.
Explain
Okay,
it
thank
to
you,
me,
Josh.
please.
They show when Danny looks at room 237 and the key is hanging in the lock and the door is slightly ajar and he's about to go in, it zooms in on that key and it is a red rectangular tag that says room and then a little higher
N-O.
up N and then an even tinier little O
For number.
for number and then 237 below it.
When he started to explain that number typically stands for, to signify a number, numerical, I started to get really worried because I was like, I thought he was going to say it means no moon. Like we didn't go to the moon.
Oh, shit.
It's even more, it's deeper than that.
Yes, because of the N being so close to the end of the word room,
Yup.
it means moon room.
That's not an explanation, Josh. Josh, explain it.
Case closed.
Josh,
Make it
no.
make
I've
sense.
arrested
Make it make
my
Josh,
briefcase.
Fix it.
explain
Fix it,
it
Josh.
now.
I have left. I'm no longer here. Learn
So-
from the past,
End
Eve.
of the episode.
The thing is that room NO is not an anagram for moon room.
It's one for sex.
But
Do these guys talk to each other? Do they know they're competing?
I said that during the movie is I wish there was a third act reveal that all of these people know and hate each other. And they just start bad mouthing. Because there's one guy at some point, he's like, yeah, I ran into this guy. Said the whole movie was about Native Americans. Huh, what a crazy idiot. And I'm like,
And I just had to listen to him
glass
like,
houses, friend.
oh God, I lied when I said I only have 3. I made so many strange
no.
notes because I just had to remember what the phrase double blue girl meant.
What did that? That was the guy that's just talking off the cuff.
Yeah, his whole thing was like, because they're explaining the ghosts. So first, it's that the woman in 237 is Jack's ghost for fucking.
Yes.
Fuck ghosts. We all have one.
The twins.
I mean, maybe not all of us. I don't. But I'm saying if the two of you did,
It'd
I
be
wouldn't
norm-
judge you for it. What kind of person would I be?
It's kind.
We
It's
don't
kind of
judge
you.
each other.
We've been over this with demons before,
We have.
right?
We got to find that painting in Sam's attic. The 2 girls, Grady's daughters, are Wendy's manifestation.
Yeah.
Each of her halves.
Because the two girls wear blue, and in the first scene with Wendy's Impossible Cigarette, she has a blue apron on over her clothes. And so then the screen, for whatever reason, just doubles Wendy in that shot and is like, see, two blue girls.
Yeah.
Those are Danny's double blue girls.
Yeah, he says a sentence that is gibberish. And then you can just hear the smugness in his voice, where he's like, fucking got him.
Oh, yeah, to be clear, everybody speaks with confidence.
Yes.
And
too much of it.
And they're very sincere. Like, they believe what they're saying is my impression. Yeah.
All right, now, Eve, you're going to be so excited.
Yay.
It's Labyrinth time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Would you like to take us into the discussion that The Shining is Kubrick telling us he believes in the Minotaur?
Minotaur.
The Minotaur.
Minotaur.
Oh my God. I lost my mind.
You did.
You did.
It's so funny.
It's so good.
It's so funny. I know this is bad podcasting to just say it's funny, but it's true.
Go watch it.
Oh my God. Okay. So it is the woman it's the one lady on the show who has the map and who has been so far my favorite person to be interviewed. She just seems like not a crazy person. She's just like, here's some neat stuff I noticed while watching this movie obsessively. And it's like, that's
I get it.
relatable. But then her further evidence, she's like, what drew me in? What made me search for the answers is that Kubrick, being a genius, is obviously hiding things in the periphery, things on the screen that he wants you to see but aren't focused on. And the example she gives is in the first scene where Danny is in the game room and he sees the Grady twins. And they stare at him and then turn around and walk away in the creepiest way possible. And she's like, so I'm watching this scene, and obviously I'm drawn to the ski poster. First of all, already so much to unpack. That's what you notice, is there's a poster to the left of the door.
Well, because Ullman had explained the place is bad for skiing. So why would there be a ski poster, except she doesn't ask that question.
That is true.
But I think she is asking that question, what she says the poster actually is.
There's a split second where I'm like, that's actually interesting.
But that's not where it's going.
That's not where it's going. Where it goes so wildly out of left field, because she's like, well, why would there be a poster for skiing at a resort with no skiing? It doesn't make any sense. Obviously, the only thing that makes sense is it's not a skier. It's a Minotaur.
She also says it has a tail, as they're showing. The screen is held
fucking
on
It is
it.
an
It's zoomed
outline
in.
of a man on skis.
There's no
So
tail.
clear.
And it's like I don't understand why you would show me how false what these people are saying is with
That's
like
the filmmakers are making this specifically to be like, this lady said this thing. Here's
Here
what
it
she's
is.
talking about.
Eve.
It's so good.
When you said the poster says the word ski on it, it broke me. And then I think
Yeah, because
Devin
it says, what is it? Ski
Ski
something.
Monarch.
Monarch.
So she
And
made a big deal about Monarch.
Yeah,
and then you're like,
it says
"It's a
Monarch, which
ski."
is very scary because the King Minos put the Minotaur, and I'm like, it also says ski.
And then Devin pointed
Occam's
out
razor, please.
that there is actually a Minotaur
Yeah,
over the door.
there's a painting in the background that looks like a fucking bull's head.
Way more like a Minotaur.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Absurd. That's the movie. We did it.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
hold on.
This is free for all time.
Well,
Hit me with your favorite.
Okay, the last note I had was quantum physics. You're watching the
God.
movie, so the movie happens.
Oh no. Okay, so I hate myself.
Oh, fuck. So good.
Because at the end, there's like one of the more reasonable sounding people is being interviewed, and more reasonable relatively, is being interviewed, and like he's giving this very vague monologue about how movies can make you feel feelings. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, the argument he's making is the act of obsessing over a movie changes what you see about the movie because you're
Awesome
looking for
argument.
something.
Very compelling.
And in my head, I go, oh yeah, it's like quantum physics where when you observe something, it changes the outcome. And then the dude who the whole movie, I'm going, what a chode this dude is. He is the smuggest, most pretentious, and he goes, it's like quantum physics. And I'm like, I have to jump in a river.
I have to jump with you, though, because when he started talking about that, I'm like, finally, he stated a fact. Like, yes, they will change under observation. And I like the connection that he's pulling towards it. Talk more about those kinds of things, because that's cool.
I think of all the loose threads that we haven't talked about, my favorite is the message that Kubrick specifically sent to Stephen King during the filmmaking.
No.
The big fuck you that's specifically meant for Stephen King. And it's while Dick is driving to the hotel.
Upset me a little bit, actually.
He passes a semi that is overturned on top of the same type of car the Torrances were driving up in. I think the symbolism right there, pretty beginning and end. We got it. It's the same car. This guy's like, in the novel, the car's red. This is a red car. This was Kubrick saying, I've run over your book. This is my book now.
Well, Jack's car is yellow, he tells us, too.
Which is different.
Does yellow mean something?
Yellow means it's Kubrick's, I guess.
Yellow is fear.
Yes, yellow is Kubrick, red is King.
What the Green Lantern's weak against.
But
King is the Crimson King.
He made us. I mean, he points out that King has ranted about this movie forever, but he gets weirdly smug about it. And Kubrick was like, fuck you, King. It's like, don't pile on, man.
All right.
These two bitches have had enough beef. Just
before we do ratings, I do have one thing is that in case the filmmakers decide to do a sequel, Room 238, I would like to I would like to pitch my theory.
Wonderful.
Okay.
About, because I was telling CM, we were hanging out before we watched the movie, and I said that I've watched this movie a lot in the past
The
year.
Shining, not Room 236.
Yes. I have watched The Shining since I saw it in theaters at the little repertory theater that opened here in town. I've seen it probably like 4 or 5 times in the past year. It's great. It's one of my favorite movies. But having watched it that many times, I think that The Shining is real.
Accepted.
Do you have... We'll follow up to that so I can...
Do you have any questions about my theory?
How come?
How come do I think The Shining is real? Well, because the movie is really vivid. You know how some dreams are like really, really vivid?
Yeah, okay.
And sometimes you dream about a place that is real.
Holy, no, I've done that. I've dreamt about my house, and that's a real place.
I just believe that Jack Torrance is a real human being that lived.
Holy smokes.
And he worked at this hotel, the Overlook, which is real and you can go to.
Great filmmakers. Well, Eve.
Yeah,
I don't want to compete for this last remaining spot in Room 238, but I do have a theory for what Kubrick was really trying to tell us.
Okay.
And I've got evidence.
I've
got so much evidence. You're gonna be sick with evidence. You ready for this?
I'm down.
All right. This film, Kubrick was framing an elaborate apology. All right. You see, there are several instances of Jack apologizing for his abuse, for apologizing for the mistakes he's made. Grady's ghost corrected his children. There's an implication of being sorry for the mistake he had to make.
Remorse.
Wendy constantly apologizes to Jack, even though it's not her fault when things happen. This is why I believe that Kubrick was using The Shining to tell us all about the Parker Brothers game Sorry.
That makes sense.
Hear me out.
Is it because the movie's pop-o-matic?
This beat is. You know, the cycle of violence mirrors the board of sorry as a circle, you see.
The board's square. The track is circle.
Continue.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no but.
Next, importantly, it's the color schemes. You see, they're all represented. You see red, the elevator's blood, red rum, the jacket. There's our red piece.
Can't argue.
Wendy's robe is blue.
Uh-huh.
The walls and the creepy twin.
There are two blue girls.
Two blue girls. Blue. Yellow. Danny's big wheel bike is yellow. There's yellow wallpaper in one of the sections.
Bees.
Bees. They're not in The Shining.
They're not in the movie.
Green. The hedge maze is green. These are all dominant palettes of the game Sorry.
This
And
is
with their powers
exactly-
combine,
Now let me go
I am
into
Captain Planet. What are we doing here?
the Torrances are trapped in a hotel much like a board where they move around from space to space. Characters are constantly being sent back to where they started. Jack has to be locked in the pantry, and Grady has to go back and let him out so that he can progress.
Monopoly has hotels.
Hey, too many hotels. The Shining is one hotel. This is not about
right.
this is not about Monopoly, Eve.
Okay.
Every time Jack is injured, he recovers. It's a cycle. Back to start.
Operation.
Wendy and Danny try to escape,
What,
and then they
is
go
that
back
anything?
inside. Back to start. It's all going back to start, just like the board game. Sorry. Finally, everyone just wants to go home. And where does sorry end? When your pieces are home. Now, my final argument, my last three arguments. If it turns out in sorry, if you can't make a legal move, you are frozen. Jack is frozen. Danny watches
CM wants this episode to end so bad.
Danny watches the movie Summer of 42. There's a lot of 42 imagery. Do you know that 42 is half of 84? There are 84 pieces on a sorry board. And
Can't be true. Hold on.
And finally, sorry is polite. And there are several instances. It's polite, but it also has violence, polite violence. We have lines like, I won't hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains in. And last but not least,
Wait, what?
the board game Sorry was initially trademarked in 1929. Do you know that the board game Sorry is based off of an ancient Indian board game called Pachisi? Case closed, folks. The Shining is about the board game Sorry.
I am almost certain that Parcheesi is from the.
I said Pachisi.
Yeah, that's not. It's.
This is
I don't think that. I think it's Parcheesi,
exactly.
and it's from the subcontinent.
Eve, I've said all these words. I've said them all.
This is exactly what it was like to watch Room 237 for an hour and 45 minutes.
So now it's time to go into our ratings.
Yeah.
That was my rating. This movie is bullshit. 2 out of 5 blue chambray shirts.
1,000% agree. 2 out of 5 blue chambray shirts.
I don't want to shit on someone's work or their ideas. I'm put off that they presented them as fact. I did like some things that the movie made us think about, like some of the themes that they hinted at and didn't explore that are really fascinating. And I like talking to you guys about it.
Yeah, that's true.
it's the
If
best
I
part.
had a reason to watch it again, I feel like I could get through it because it also does a lot. There's a lot of cool music in it. You know, it sets like an interesting
that's true.
mood, and the way they use the scenes from the other movies, I think, make a compelling. I was not bored watching it. I was just exasperated listening to it.
Yeah.
Again, I think best watched like on a TV at an empty bar on mute.
I just don't want to shit on this because a lot of people will love this and enjoy
Yeah,
it. They'll
sure.
love the sleep one I mentioned. A lot of people probably have seen, that listen to us, have also seen Hellier. They probably love that. And it's just, I don't want to crap on somebody's like, I just want to have fun and believe in this
Sure.
thing. Because, you know, the world kind of sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe believe in fun shit.
And
But
we
we
lost the
are-
ability to do that.
we
for
are-
ourselves.
So I know that.
We are critics, so
Yeah, so I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 blue chambray shirts. Because
Scathing.
if you like these things, you're going to have so much fun watching this. Not for me.
yeah, for sure.
That's it for this episode of Derry Public Radio. As always, thank you for listening. Join us for our next episode, where y'all, we're finishing Everything's Eventual with the story Everything's Eventual. For CM Alexander and Eve Gatto, I'm Joshua Kahn saying Kubrick faked the moon landing.
Hey everyone, thank you for listening to our coverage of the documentary Room 237. Again, if you're looking for an analytical and well-researched dive into The Shining, you might find this doesn't quite fit the bill. And if you enjoy entering the world of what Wikipedia refers to as obsessed cinephiles, you'll probably find it interesting and entertaining. Either way, let us know what you think, and you can do that by joining our Discord discussions. The link for that is in the show notes. Or you can catch us on social media, search Derry Public Radio on whatever your preferred platform is. You can also email us at derrypublicradio@gmail.com. And while you wait for the next episode to come out, catch our bonus episodes on Patreon, patreon.com/derrypublicradio. You get perks at each tier, including a backlog of tons of episodes only released on Patreon. You'll get 1 to 2 extra episodes a month at the $5 and up tier. And if you're at our $10 and up tier, you'll have access to our watch parties and monthly live streams. You can also simply follow us with no money involved and see if you want to become a member. You can also cancel or change your tier at any time. Whatever you decide, we really do appreciate your support. That's all for now, listeners. Goodbye.